Now let us turn our attention to a different affix, the affix viii, which is prescribed by the Sutram 32146 in this section of Tachila Tadharma Sadhukarishu. This Sutram 32146 prescribes the affix viii. The Sutram reads as follows: Ninda Himsa Klisha Khada Vinasha Parikshipa Parirata Parivadi Vyabhashasuyo vi. So it simply says that Ebhyaha vi syat tachiladishu kartrishu. So to denote an agent who performs an action because of his nature or habit or sense of duty or family tradition or because he is skilled at it or he's good at it, the affix vi may be used following any one of the verbal roots listed below, and there are 10 of them in this sutram. They are as follows: Nind, which is nidhi kutsaya. Now this verbal root is an idit. The ending ikara of nidhi is an it, so that means that we have to apply 7158. Idito num dhatoho. So that's a num agama comes there. So we get nind. Of course, the beginning nakara of this verbal root takes the nakara adesha by 6165. No naha, no naha. Second verbal root is hims, which is hisi himsayam. Similar thing over here, the ending ikara of this verbal root is a it by upadesh jananasika it. So therefore 7158 prescribes the num augment. So we get hims. Then klish, which is klisha upatape in the divadigana as well as klishu vibhadhane in the kriyadigana. Both are included here. Then number 4 is khad, which is khadru bhakshane in the bhavadigana. Number 5 is the upasarga v plus a causative form of the verbal root nash, which is nasha adarshane in the divadigana. Why do we say causative form? Because the Sutram Panini says vinasha. So from that we know that atopadhaya has been applied. This affix nich is indicated there. So it is a causative form of the verbal root nasha. Number 6 is the upasarga pari plus kship, which is kshipa prerane. Number 7 is pari plus rata, which is rata paribhashane. Number 8 again is parivadi. So here also it is the upasarga pari with a causative form of the verbal root vada, which is vada vyaktayam vachi. And number 9 is the dhatuhu bhasha, which is bhasha vyaktayam vachi with the upasarga v plus the upasarga ang, which is a. So v a bhasha. And finally the verbal root asuya. Now asuya derived using the sutram 3127 kanvadibhyo yak. So this term asu is in the kanvadiganaha, and we add the affix yak by kanvadibhyo yak and we get asuya as the verbal root. It gets the dhatu sanya by sanadyanta dhatava 3132. So that is the verbal root asuya derived using 3127, which is indicated in this sutram. Following any one of these 10 verbal roots with the appropriate upasarga, if any, the affix vi may be used to denote an agent who is performing the action because of his nature, habit, or sense of duty or skill. Now, one question comes is that we already have studied the sutram 31133, which is nvul trichau, nvul trichau. So the affix nvul is already prescribed by 31133. That's also kartari krit. This affix vi by this sutram 32146 as well as the affix nvul prescribed by 31133, they are both used kartari krit to denote the agent of the action. So now what is the point of prescribing vi again by 32146? Because remember the sutram vasarupostriyam, which is the sutram which we studied way back 3194, which says that in this adhikaraha of dhatoh, which started from 3191, barring the striyam adhikaraha, a pratyaha which is asarupaha, which does not have the same form as another pratyaha, can be used optionally. So why couldn't the sutram nul trichau, the nul affix prescribed by that sutram 31133, be used optionally here? So then what is the need to compose 32146? That is the question. And the answer to that is given in the Siddhanta Kaumudi as Nula Siddhe. Nula Siddhe means when these same forms, which are going to be derived from this Sutram 32146, could have also been derived by using the Sutram 31133 by using the affix nul. Vi vachanam nyapakam. The prescription of this affix vi by 32146 is a nyapakam, is an indication given by Panini. Indication of what? Tachiladishu Vasarupanyayena Trijadayo na, which means that in this meaning of Tachila Tadharmata Sadhukadishu, this adhikaraha, in this meaning, we cannot use the affixes trich, etc., which are prescribed before this adhikara of 32134 started. So those affixes which are prescribed before the adhikara of 32134 started, before this adhikara, those affixes which were prescribed prior to that, the affixes trich, etc., starting from 31133, they cannot be used in these meanings of an agent who performs the action as his nature or habit or sense of duty or skill. So this is a nyapakam. This prescription of vi by Panini is a nyapakam, that the pratyaha nul could not have been used here. Obviously not. There is no point of prescribing vi. And that tells us that in these specific meanings of the Chilatadharmata Sadhukarishu, we cannot use those affixes like trich, etc., which were prescribed prior to this adhikara starting. They cannot be used optionally in this special meanings. So that is the nyapakam. In terms of derivation, let's just take one form here, which is nindati, the chilaha, nindakaha. So here this verbal root is nidhi, and the beginning nakara of the verbal root is replaced by nakaraha by 6165, no naha. The ending ikara is of course the it by 132, upadeshe janunasika it, and then it takes lopaha by tasya lopaha 139. This is the idit dhatu, so that brings in 7158. Idito num dhatu, so the num agamaha joins after the last vowel, which is the ikaraha in nid. So by midachonchat paraha 1147, the agamaha num joins after the ikaraha in nid. So we get ni num the anubandha lopaha. Ukarasit sanya by upadeshe janunasika it. Then makarasit sanya bhalantyam tasya lopaha, we get nind. And now we bring in the affix vi by this sutram 32146, because Panini specifically mentioned this verbal root nind in this sutram. So we get nind plus vi. And remove the ending nyakara as an it, bhalantyam tasya lopaha. Now vu takes the aka adesha by 711, yoranakau, vu takes the aka adesha. And anekachis sarvasya, the entire vu is gone, and we get aka in its place, and we get the form nindaka, and of course nindaka gets the pratipadika sanya by krittadisa samasascha. Nindakaha means one who habitually criticizes all the time. Okay, so this is this affix vi prescribed by 32146, and actually this anuvritti of vi goes down up to 32147. So these are these two rules, 32146, 147, which prescribe the affix vi in this meaning of the chila tadharmata sadhukarishu. And remember this nyapakam. This is a nyapakam, which is siddhantakam, which says the chiladishu vasarupanyayena trijadayo na.